So I want to kind of make this a little bit unfiltered, but a lot of people overcomplicate selling, especially online, or in any investment opportunity, whether that's within themselves or in their business. And I really just want to kind of break down like my philosophy on sales and pretty much how it works. So there's two people in the world, or it's the same person, but they're in two stages of their life. They are either in the limiting belief pocket with high urgency and a lot of doubt, or they are in the low urgency, high desire pocket. Now, a lot of people will say the people with a lot of urgency have a lot of desire. They have a lot of desire to change. Every human has desire, but they have doubt that is blanketed over the desire. So this is why you'll talk to people and they're very interested in like getting started and taking action and doing something, and they want to do the opportunity and they walk out of it. So when you're looking at the BizOp, green, early stage people in sales, or in their career or their investment and investing in themselves, whether it's a coaching program, mentorship program, in their business, if they're in that early stage, they use a lot of external ego to hide the fact that they're actually very insecure that they will fail. And so when I get somebody very green, which is a lot of like the high ticket sales, online, education, coaching business, or selling to a lot of people who are starting, what you need to be really good about doing is pushing them away from the commitment to make them chase the commitment. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if I'm taking somebody who really wants to jump into high ticket sales or go all gung ho and they're in car sales, and I just did this because the reason why I'm making this video is I just did an hour-long triage with somebody who has a lot of limiting beliefs, but super action taker, makes money, proven himself, and then, past 45 minutes, he's fearful of failure. He's scared. He's doubtful. This is all a big show. There's a lot of insecurity. Does he lead with that on his shoulder? No, because I use some analogies and reframes like, I'm a pretty confident guy, but why is it when I see the pretty girl on the street or the new thing right there, I hesitate to walk up, even though I've walked up and I've approached those things in my life and I get the number and I've proven to myself that I can do it. It's because I have doubt. I have limiting beliefs. I have internal problems that I haven't overcome. And when you're dealing with these more green people, you push them away from the sale and then you coach them. That's the way I've always done it. Push away by feeding into their doubt. Why would you even want to do this in the first place? So they chase the desire, but then you uncover all the different layers. So let's really take this down a super deep level. I hope I'm not losing any of y'all here because it's about to get like super kind of confusing. So this guy is in car sales. Comes on the call, making money, knows he can do it. Yeah, I'm a good salesperson. I'm pretty confident in myself. It's all a smoke screen. Okay? So the doubt, what I do in the beginning of the call is, well, why would you want to leave what you've already proven you can do and start something kind of completely new? I have him chase the thing that he wants. Oh, because I can't be online and I want to do this thing online. So what are some of the worries that you have in making this transition? Well, and I'm like, do you know what you're selling or do you not know what you're selling? Or like, what are some questions or comments or concerns that kind of come up for you when you're thinking about making the transition? And it's usually some surface level stuff. Like, I don't know, like what happens if it doesn't really work out? Who am I kind of selling for? What is it realistically earning looks like? All that second shit is not relevant when you don't address the first limiting belief, which does this person believe that they can do it? Do they believe that? And so a large portion of my triages and my discoveries at the beginning of my calls with more green people is trying to identify, does this person believe they can do it? Do they believe it? They say they can, but do they? And you have to get really, really, really deep with that person. And what I found is the only way you can reach the level of depth is with detaching early. Like when I get on a sales call I literally can't remember the last time I looked at a script. And I just had a text from the referral guy, the guy who connected us. And he was like, you must have done a good job, because he followed up with me right after your call. And it's like, I don't look at it like doing a good job. I look at it like, I know he's got limiting beliefs because he's green. Because when you go out on the golf course for the first time in your life and you ain't ever swung a golf club, you're kind of nervous. Not only am I going to hit the ball, but what else? Are they going to make fun of me? Am I going to look stupid? Am I going to be the worst person out there? And I blanket it up as, I just don't really feel like playing golf today. It's because I'm scared to look stupid. The people who are the most successful, and what you have to get these people to understand, this is the limiting belief change you have to get them to understand. The people that are the most successful are the ones that blindlessly take action. And so you use the cost of inaction is actually the fact of their overanalyzing is the reason why they will fail. And so you play into what they're currently doing, doubting, thinking about themselves, is actually the reason why they're stuck, which unlocks desired result. So a lot of people try to do current versus desire. You need to get them to self-identify first that they have limiting beliefs by probing. Once the limiting beliefs come out, and like with this guy, he was like, I just don't know if I'm a fail. I use analogies to make him realize, like he went to rehab. I'd been to a facility myself when I was a lot younger. I made him realize that you're a long way from the streets by asking him questions like, okay, when you were down and out, what did you have to your name? And he had nothing. And it's like, what do you have now? I have a car, I have this, I have my bills paid, I have an apartment. I'm like, so worst comes to worst, do you think you would get back on the street before you sold your car? He's like, no. It's like, you're so far away from failure, bro. You've been so much closer to failure. You just got comfortable. Limiting belief. Now he's sitting there going, you're right. I've been in way worse situations than this. Why did I not even realize that? And what does that do? It reinstills the urgency that they have, because they have urgency. It's just blanketed under the limiting belief. So you push past that. Now they have the understanding of, you're right, but the bridge is still not built to the desired result. It's not built yet, because they've had the current realization of okay, I realize now that, I'm far away from where I was, but this still doesn't move them closer to the desired result. They just realize now that failure is going to be harder. I've been in worse situations, but there's still the doubt. And so I'm going to use those scenarios like I mentioned where, let me ask you this. When you play golf, just like what I said a second ago, when you go, what sport do you suck at? He goes, good question. I'm not really that good at baseball. And I'm like, if we had the neighborhood got together to play a round of baseball, and that a couple dads in the cul-de-sac, played, in whatever it's called, not MLB, but the tier even underneath it, or maybe they played in the little derbies and stuff, and they'll smack a ball and you can't. When you load up to the plate, and you got your wife and you got them, you don't want to be the dad that strikes out, that limiting belief, right? But you have to help them understand nobody gives a f***. It's all in their head. The failure that they're so associated with, that complacency, is the very thing that is keeping them where they're at. So now they're in this perfect mid-ground where it's like, oh shit, I'm far away from failure, but the reason why I'm stuck is because I'm complacent, which then what? Indirectly now uses the urgency and the limiting belief that has been shattered to now make the decisions, which is why they make the decision. And then you have to overcome the financial objection and things of that matter. But you need to crack that code first. That's the people on the left side, Poppy or Shadi. Okay? Now if you move over to the people on the right side, I feel like you need a water, but I want to rip this in one take so I can show you guys that I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Let's go get a water real quick. When you're dealing with the people who are more not green to an opportunity, Well, what do you think they're running into? Well, let's use the same golf analogy. You can make analogies up on my head. Let's use the same golf analogy. So you're good at golf now. You've proven that you can swing. You've proven that you're good. Now what happens? Lack of urgency. I could go out there and shoot, 5 over. I'm not a pro golfer, but I can shoot 5 over pretty damn good. What you need to do with these people that have lower urgency is understand that they still have desire. The problem is they don't have as many limiting beliefs because they've proven they can do it. But funny enough, here's the philosophy behind the way that I sell and playing detached. They do have limiting beliefs. They still have doubt. But the doubt isn't, am I going to fail? The doubt is, will I ever be the man? And they blanket that once again with capping and smoke screens. Because they don't believe, or they believe they can be this person, but there's a current constraint. And this is why I say it's not rich versus poor. It's not B2B versus B2C. It's green versus seasoned people. And you have to gauge this temperature on a chart. You have to. Like there's a chart, it's a weighing scale. When you talk to someone on the phone and you're asking them questions, you got to figure out how green the person is. Because if they're green, they're going to have some limited beliefs. Let's just attack this first, okay? If they're more seasoned, I'm going to ask questions like, well, when you went out and played the last round of golf, how'd you shoot? Oh, I shot 5 over. And I'm like, okay, cool. Is that in comparison to like the people you're around, like the people you play golf with, is that good or bad? Because people I talk to, 5 over is like, they're the best by, 20 points, right? All the other guys are shooting double bogey, getting hammered on the golf course. But then other people are like, 5 over or whatever is like, they're like the weak friend in the group that nobody wants to play with. So for where you're sitting at, where's 5 over? And guess what they're going to say? In their mind, they're thinking 5 over is good. But you just did what I like to call moving the goalpost. Now, all this is me, by the way. No one has ever created or talked about this. This is my philosophy. So you can throw this in Claude and ChatGPT and try to figure it out. This is Maddox's philosophy. That's why I can do it in one take. Moving the goalpost. I want you to envision that you are, if you like NFL, or I can even use like Mike Tyson as an analogy, but I'm going to use the NFL just because it's a good analogy, the goalpost, right? You can even use soccer, free kicks. If you are shooting a free kick with Messi, or you're on the goal line with Christian McCaffrey or some baller running back, the making of this video, Christian McCaffrey's a baller. I don't know when you're going to watch this. Isn't it not so easy to just run the ball in? Here, Christian, run it in, touchdown. That's why your prospects have low urgency, because they don't see your solution as something they need to act on, because it doesn't really have as much pain. Hopefully my thing is not going to die. Let's plug this bad boy in. Hopefully it doesn't end if I plug this in. Beautiful. So they don't see your solution as priority. So this is where you get a lot of people who have a bunch of industry acumen. They jump on a bunch of sophisticated, seasoned, richer people. And they feel like, man, like we had a good combo. He sees the value. He just didn't really have any urgency to make a decision today. Why is that? It's because you didn't move the goalpost and make him realize that he is a scrub. This is where my authoritative selling style comes in. So it could be the richest, most successful, most handsome, most famous person in the room. I'm going to talk to them like a normal person. I'm not going to put them on any pedestal. I'm not going to gas them up. I'm not going to use words like you're doing very well for yourself. I'm going to make them realize that not only our solution or what we do solves their core constraint, but we also solve the 9 other things that they had no idea even come up afterwards. So let me ask you, the goal is to get to, shooting even or shooting 2 over or 2 under. do you even really care about golf that much, or is this just kind of like a hobby? And he's like, no, I want to be a good ass golfer. Because here's the thing. If the person doesn't, it's two different goals. If he just wants to be average, you're going to have to change the limiting belief that average isn't enough. If he's identifying as the person he wants to be, he's letting you know the desire is right there. He's telling you, I have the desire to be that person. And so what you have to understand is the act of moving the goalpost is making him realize, okay, so you're in the Super Bowl. You got Christian McCaffrey as your running back. I guess my question to you would be like, tensions are high, feelings are high, emotions are high, the lineman is shaking. He snaps the ball. Oh shit, false start. In that case, what's your playbook on 2nd and 3? Would you still, or 1st and 3? Would you still run it with Christian McCaffrey? Or let's actually use this example. You're 4th and 1 on the goal line. Everything's shaking. I mean, the odds are looking good. Christian's good, but what happens if it doesn't work out? What happens if you never end up being the great golfer? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with just being average? But first you have to shatter and help him understand that he is average. So it's like having that authoritativeness to gas the guy down a little bit, break him down, then you can build him up. With the greener people, okay, you got to shatter their own limiting beliefs and build them up, okay? Because these people are coming in like low urgency. You have to make them like, you got to push them back to having the urgency of being in the green pocket. You have to, or else there's not going to be any urgency. And here's my philosophy. The best buyers are the rich people with urgency. Because if you can get them in the pocket to make a decision, they can pay for it. That's why I love personally selling to people who can afford shit. You know what I mean? So like, cause I'm really good at just figuring out, oh shit, this person's green. I'm going to spend more time breaking limiting beliefs and coaching them. And these are going to be longer calls, and there's going to be more inner work that I have to do here. And I have to help them realize that, the reason why they're not where they want to be is because of them. This person over here, I have to do a similar thing. I have to make them realize that where they want to be is because of them, but leaving out all the emotions and just moving the goalpost and making him realize that there is things to compare to again. Because, like, for example, when you're broke as right, you are comparing to, man, if I could just make my bills and some. And then you do that. And you're like, well, man, if I could just make 10K per month. And then you do that. You're like, well, man, if I could just get my dream car and my penthouse and everything, I'm good. And then you get there. I'm telling you from someone who's been in that shit. I'm telling you. I financed. I didn't finance. I put all my money I had into my first mentorship program. I had to pay myself money with a processor I opened up, with a credit card I took out to pay my mortgage, because you can't put a credit card on mortgage payment, or maybe you can, but I didn't because I was scared. So I maxed out a credit card, $3,000 that I could just open up, send myself a payment link, and pay myself money. Took the money out. Okay, I did that. And that's how I paid my first mortgage while I tried to pursue my dream. If you don't think I had a retarded amount of urgency to be successful, I did. I had a crazy amount of urgency to be successful. Now, where I think, and what I think makes me not only a great sales rep, but just a great entrepreneur and just a great speaker and everything, is I still have urgency even though I'm more successful than I was. I never lost that grit. I never lost the desire, and I don't think I ever will lose the grit to be great. I don't give a fuck. I'll do what it takes. And you're going to meet a lot of these people in the middle, because here's the thing. Guys like me are the buyers. We're the laydowns. We're the people that get on your call and give you the credit card. But you can't bank on that in sales. That's why I know I'm going to make it to the top, because I am that person. If you're not that person, you won't make it to the top. I'm just going to tell you right now, you'd better do some inner work in sales or in your own mindset and believe that you can achieve anything you want, and then start making decisions how I make them. But I'll always beat you because I make decisions way faster than you, even when I lose. Bro, I lost out 15 G's on an investment the other day with somebody that has a lot of trust in this industry. And I really trust them. And I took a big swing, and I was really nervous. And it ended up actually being really bad, man. But you know what my mindset is? Charge it to the game. We made 6 G's today. Not life-changing. A couple payment plans came through. I'm 26. I have everything I want. I could be complacent. I got my watch. I got my car. I'm in Miami right now looking at penthouses. I'm in some shit box right now that I thought looked good on Airbnb. I ain't gonna lie. I said penthouse. I ain't looking at I'm looking at cribs, Miami. Sorry, I don't know why I said penthouse. I ain't balling like that yet. No, I don't know if I could drop 20 G's or 30 G's on rent. That's besides the point. I digress. Bring it back to the right side. The desire, the urgency. You need to move the goalpost and sell insurance. You are an insurance policy. Not only because you can solve the core constraint, but you solve all the other problems after that. Well, let me ask you. Christian McCaffrey runs in that touchdown on 4th down. You guys win the Super Bowl. What's your calorie cap at? Or what's your salary cap at? Calorie cap. What's your salary cap? This is just me making this up off my mind. Oh, wow. So if he scores that touchdown, he's going to be all over the news. He's going to be the hottest thing in NFL football. Is he not? Well, your salary cap's already pretty high. What's stopping the Ravens or somebody from coming and doubling down on the salary and taking him from you? Maybe you should put a sub in. Oh, your sub sucks. So what's the other game plan? Oh, shit. They have no idea. They didn't even think about that. That's how you sell the person on the right side. You show them what's around the corner that they weren't even expecting. And then you withhold. You withhold the answers. You withhold it. And it makes them desire you so much. This is gaslighting. Or whatever the saying is. This is ethically gaslighting. Yeah, I do it. It's how I sell. Whatever you want to call it. It's not immoral. It's how you get somebody to desire working with you. Is now, if that guy doesn't close in the follow-up, he's going to be like, dude, that guy knows some shit that I don't know. I want to work with that guy because he's got some shit that I don't know. And so once you can shatter one of those limiting beliefs again, or you can show them that you know what's around the corner, you start moving them back into the urgency pocket again. And that's my philosophy on gauging where somebody is at. And that's the first thing that you need to do in any sales approach or in any conversation. If you take this lesson away, I guarantee you can see it in so many areas of your life. Why is it so much easier to talk to your friends the way you talk to your friends than talk to a stranger? The opportunity's greater. But if you wanted your friend who knows everything about you, he knows your tricks up your sleeve, he's well more sophisticated, how are you going to get your friend to take a massive amount of scary action if he knows everything about what you're trying to do? Bro, you want me to go talk to that girl because you know I'm going to get rejected. You're trying to gas me up and do it. He knows your tricks. So you got to be able to find a way to show him what's around the corner. Okay? Show him what's on the other side of that. Gas him up. With the person that you don't know, you're going to have a little bit more proving to do, or like rapport. But the good thing about people in the green side is they're more receptive to the things that you have to say early, and they're there to judge you a lot earlier, and they'll get indebted to you a lot more because of the way you are, especially if you're detached from the beginning, which makes them want to trust you more. And with more green people who are scared within themselves, they buy security. That's what makes them drawn to you. So these people over here are drawn by the desire that you know what's around the corner. And then this people over here to the left are drawn to the fact that they trust you. And that's the way that I sell. So first things first, watch this video back. because this is the first concept in what you need to understand about real sales and psychology. And this is just the truth of how I sell. And it's very easy because all this stuff in sales, in business, in life is all a downstream effect of everything that comes from the top of the funnel. Is it easier to fix? Like if I want to be a business owner and I want to make $100,000 a month in profit, is it easier to fix my close rate? Let's say I have, a great opt-in rate, 100% show up rate, and a 25% close rate, and I'm making $100,000 in profit. Is it easier to fix things more top of funnel than to get that close rate up to 50%? Well, now let's use the analogy of like, okay, I think I kind of fucked up there. What I meant to say was, if I'm running a business and I'm spending money on ads and I want to make $100,000 in profit and I have a 50% show up rate and a 25% close rate, is it easier to get the 25% close rate to 50 or the show up rate from like 50 to like 80 or 75 to give it that lift, that 50% lift? What's easier to do? It's the show up rate. There might be some shit in the pre-call. Could just be a simple thing on the type form of the application. Could be the setting process, just getting proper tie downs. But like taking someone's close rate from a quarter to half, you got to be a whole different person to do that. You know what I mean? So it's that's my philosophy in sales. If you understand this concept early, now you're going to walk on every call and the first thing you're going to think is, how green is this person? If you could do that, dude, like everything else I teach you, everything else you'll learn from me just makes all this shit so much easier, because now you're just like, okay, I understand this concept early. That's the first thing I'm going to identify. Now let me use all the super ninja advanced tactics that Blake has and the analogies and the stories and shit like that. This shit's easy. I'm going to make you really good. So appreciate you listening to my yap sesh. I don't know any other way to do it. Sometimes I just sit here and I'm like, man, how do I just get everything out of my brain? But maybe this is the answer. Just set it up and rip. Peace.